Okay, good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? Good evening online. Hi, Dinesh. I saw your message. Thank you. Hi, Shravani. Hi, Nadeem. Good to see you, Hussein. Hi, Akhil. Happy New Year, everyone. Harish, I hope your friends are doing good. Harish, your batch, your team members. Yeah. So, I understand. Yesterday we were talking about the basics, right? So for that reason you felt like that. But let's move on. Okay, so I hope everyone is doing good. Online, can please confirm, can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Super. Okay, so welcome back to the classes and good to see you all here, online and offline. And I think anyone new today online? Just put me in the message. Akhil, I know you before, right? You're my previous student. Pratiksha, I know you, ma. Not new today. Today. Okay. You look awesome while wishing. Thank you, Tamim. Yeah. All right. So, okay, good. In our yesterday's class, I was a little bit worried about the new people, those who have joined. For that reason, I have just conducted a quick overview or basics of all the things. But I'm sure that for new people, that was not the actual thing that I used to teach. We go very nicely and easily, but yesterday was the basics. You can ignore that. When time comes for new people, what I might do is, if you are a new guy, those who don't know AWS, I'll be taking one day separate class for you, maybe on one class only for new people, where I'll be teaching you the basics of AWS. Okay, where I'll be teaching you EC2 and the basics of AWS. That will be super sufficient. That will be super sufficient for continuing into the DevOps. As I said before, if you want full-fledged of AWS, then you need to wait for my next batch. And also, if you want, you can join my 9 a.m. morning batch, where we have completed 2 weeks, but you'll get the recordings for that. Okay. So that was the quick thing. So welcome back to the today's class, and let's move on to today's wonderful topic. Okay. So in our previous classes, what we have learned was, I have introduced you what is DevOps, what is CI/CD, continuous integration, what are the phases that we have inside this DevOps, and what is the pipeline meaning, everything, whatever, and different type of models that we have learned. What are those models? Waterfall model, agile model, DevOps models, right? We have seen all the difference between all these things. So today, let's go actually what DevOps engineer will do in the real time. What actually DevOps engineer will do in the real time, we'll be learning it today. So before I go, uh, sure, Harish, I'll be doing that. So Harish, request is, so before we go into the DevOps, sir, please give a heads up of the topics to be refreshed in AWS. As I said, in DevOps, if you want to refresh your AWS topics, I would suggest, I don't think so. I don't think so. You need to refresh because everything is in your brains already. Everyone knows how to launch EC2 instances. That is Jujube. That is purely Jujube, right? It's very easy. And also you should know how to create S3 buckets. Tell me, anyone, everyone, online people. So you know how to launch EC2 instance. How many steps are there? 7 steps. Remember those 7 steps? If I ask also, you will definitely will be answering it. So that one, and you should know how to create S3 buckets, and you should know how to create RDS databases, and also VPC setup is important. Do you remember the VPC setup? Okay, quickly I'm asking the VPC setup. What is the first thing? Create VPC. Second one. What is the second one? Create internet gateway and attach it to the VPC. Next, create public subnet, private subnet, create NAT gateway, and create public routing table. Next, create private routing table and launching the EC2 instance, creating a security group. If you know this, if you revise this topic, that is more than sufficient for the DevOps. Now, in DevOps, we will not be talking more about AWS because in DevOps, AWS will be helpful for us to launch EC2 instances, because in AWS we all having tools, right? Can you list down the tools that you know? Tools. Let's start from first tool. What is that? Git. Next, Maven. Next, Sonar Cubes. Jenkins, Dockers, Terraform, Kubernetes, Ansible. All these things, all the tools or not? Where do you install all these tools? Inside the EC2. For that reason, you should know EC2 in advance in order to move to the DevOps. Okay. And you all know how to launch EC2 instances. That is the main thing. Rest, you know how to create S3 buckets. And S3 buckets also, we'll be not talking about now. We'll be talking this in Terraform. Using Terraform, I'll be helping you to create how to create S3 bucket automatically. That too, the last topic is Terraform. You're getting it. And VPC setup also, that is required for the end of the course in Terraform, where I'll be setting up how we have done cloud formation, automatically setting up VPC. Similar thing, I'll be teaching you how to set up the entire VPC through Terraform. That is the only two prerequisites of AWS that we need to move forward in DevOps. Okay. Online, clear, Nana? Harish and everyone? Okay. So let's move on. There are so many people also new. So I'll just give a quick overview of what we have learned, but in a different format. Okay. So some old student might knew this topic, but there are many new students here. Let's move on to that topic. Assume, Nana. We are all working in one company. Which company? Boom company. Which company? Boom. And then we are developing a application called what pay? Boom pay. Not phone pay. Similarly like boom pay. Okay. So let's use boom pay application for our entire course. Okay. So, okay. Who is the owner of this application? Myself. So what I need to do is I need to set up the application. What I need to set up? I need to set up the application called boom pay. And who is my customer? You are all my customers. Assume that we have our customers using the BoomPay application. Like PhonePay, we have BoomPay, which is used very vastly. So I have a lot of customers. Assume my offline people are my customers, and my online people are my team members. Assume that. Okay, no. So what we do is, my developers has developed this application, and let's take an example of a developer. Who is our developer? Give me one name. Roxy. Okay, you. Okay, so let's take not Roxy. Dinesh is saying Roxy, but I'll take Dinesh only. Okay, I'll take Dinesh. Who is Dinesh? Dinesh is developer. Who is Dinesh? Developer. Okay, so we also have another guy who is operations guy. Who is operations guy? Who is Mahesh? Huh? Oh, Mahesh, you are here. Good to see you. Okay, so assume that we have here Mahesh. Mahesh. Who is Mahesh? He is a operations guy. Okay. And then who is a poor guy here? Myself, manager, Ria sir. So here I'm the manager who is managing these two people. These two people. Okay, today? Okay. So Dinesh, no? I didn't see Dinesh, but I'll put like this. Oh, Dinesh looks like in sun. Huh? Okay, Mahesh. Okay. Okay. Smiley guy. Why one side smiling? Let's put nice smile. Okay. Okay. So I think Dinesh is like a sarcastic smiling, no? Okay, fine. So we have Dinesh. Okay, good. So we have our Dinesh and then Mahesh. Oh, nice name. Dinesh, Mahesh. Okay, so we have here our manager, poor guy, Riaz. Okay, myself, manager. And you're all my customers. Riaz are hidden talent. Okay, I mean, so the good thing about this batch is everyone, we know each other, right? We crack jokes and then everyone is doing great job. Okay, good. So here, this is the developer team. What is that, Naina? This is a developer team. And this is what team here? Operations team. Okay, now what these developers, Dinesh is a developer who has developed a nice application called BoomPay. Like how we have PhonePay, we have BoomPay. So he has developed the application, and that application is given to whom? Mahesh. Whom, Nana? Mahesh. What Mahesh did? What Mahesh did? Deploy. What Mahesh did? Deploy. So what he did, he has set up a server. He has set up a server, Nana, and what he did, Nana, he deployed the application. So what is the application here is our PhonePay application. Good. And who is Akhil? Not Dhoompay, it is BoomPay. Okay. So we have the customers, and customers are using how you are scanning and paying the all your daily things. So similarly, BoomPay they are using, and then they're paying for all kind of everyday daily life. Okay. Everyone are using this BoomPay application. Super hit. Excellent. And all of a sudden, one of my customer, assume one customer here, let's say Akhil called me and said that, sir, looks like BoomPay is not working. Akhil, like people, there are so many customers are there. All of a sudden, BoomPay is not working. Whenever you opening that for application, BoomPay, it is not opening up. It is crashing. So immediately I got to know. Who will get to know first? Manager. So myself will get to know that BoomPay is not working. Can you tell me what is my first thing that I need to do? To whom I will contact? Do I need to contact Dinesh or Mahesh? Tell me, everyone. Obviously, first I need to talk to whom, Nana? Mahesh, operation team, because this is the guy who has deployed the application into the server. So I called Mahesh and said, Mahesh, looks like our BoomPay application is not working. Please check. What he do? He has logged into that machine and checked the machine is perfectly working and everything is good. Looks like he's telling there is something wrong with the application. There's something wrong with the application. So he called me and said, sir, there is something wrong with the application. Now tell me to whom I will contact now. Dinesh, developer. Then I go to the runningly to Dinesh and said, Dinesh. So I have called Mahesh. Mahesh is telling there is something problem with the application. Now tell me, as a Dinesh is a developer, is he interested to log into the server? Tell me honestly, yes or no? Answer is no. He is not at all interested to log into the or access our server because he is a developer. And Dinesh is having the laptop or not? Dinesh is having the laptop and BoomPay application is working in his laptop. And I told you in our basics, in our few days before, I told you that they use a one powerful word. It's working in my laptop. They'll use the powerful word called it's working in my laptop. So Dinesh will say that, hey, whatever the code that I have given to you, the same code I'm running in my laptop, it is working. It is not working in your server. You go better and check in your server. My application is working fine. So what Mahesh will do, Mahesh will scratch his head and then he will directly go to the server and then again he'll check. Server side, everything is good. Application is not working. So Mahesh will talk about whom? Dinesh. And when I go to Dinesh, Dinesh will redirect to Mahesh. And who is doing the jogging here? Manager, myself. Poor guy. So poor guy is a guy, myself. I'm just doing the jogging from between developer team and then operations team. Whenever I go to Dinesh, he is redirecting to Mahesh. Whenever I go to Mahesh, he's redirecting to Dinesh. Tell me, what should I do? Tell me, think that you are in that position, manager position. Tell me, what will you do? Hmm? Will you tell these two people to come to my room? That is technical. Tell, guys. Tell. I want your brains to think and then tell. If you are in that situation, you don't know about anything. Simply, this is the reason here. So, Dinesh, Mahesh, developer operations guys are there, and you are the one who is running here and there. Whenever Dinesh, you talk to Dinesh, he's talking about Mahesh. Whenever go to Mahesh, and Mahesh is talking about Dinesh. What game will start here? Blame game. What game? Blame game. Nice game, no? బాగా ఆడాడు కదా సార్. Right? So nice game will start. When they are blaming with each other, the main blame is happening on the manager. By whom? Customer will call this manager and then, and then boom, boom. Yes or no? Bang it. Yes or no? So customer will start calling the manager and say that, please do something. Everything, my business is getting collapsed because your application is not working. So whenever the customer is hitting me, you tell me now to whom I need to hit. Will Dinesh will accept? Will Mahesh will accept? Then I will be keeping on hitting by my customer. And I cannot tell anything to my team members here, even though I am the manager. Do you see the gray area now? Do you see the gray area? Gray area meaning where you are helpless here. Where you are helpless, because Dinesh is very good in the development. Dinesh is very good in the development. Whereas Mahesh is also very good in the operations side. But Dinesh doesn't know operations and Mahesh doesn't know how the application works. So what I need to do? I will say that, hey Dinesh, please talk to Mahesh. Hey Mahesh, please talk to Dinesh and please collaborate. What I say? Please collaborate. Obviously, no. And then when I say collaborate, Dinesh is saying that Mahesh, no sir, I don't talk to him. When I go to Mahesh, Are Mahesh, please go and talk to Dinesh. Dinesh, I will not talk, sir. You go and talk if you want. Please don't tell like that, sir. And then Dinesh has become serious and said, Dinesh said, sir, what is my job? To develop the application. What I'm doing, sir? I'm developing the application. That is. And Mahesh also will say, sir, what is my job? Deploying the application. I'm doing my job, sir. Please don't involve me to the application side. And the Dinesh will say, don't involve me onto the server side. For that reason, I need to scream and shout very loudly that I need one person who should know both the things. And that hero is DevOps. That hero is who? DevOps. So let us break the wall. And this is the guy who comes here and break the wall between these two people. So DevOps meaning development plus operations will become as DevOps. You got it? You got it, no? New people? Fantastic. Okay. Now I have introduced you all the DevOps. And I told you what was there before DevOps in our previous classes. I'm not going to all these things again. Let's move forward. So now, what this DevOps will do, Nana? Actually, initially what we have on-premises or not? Data center. What we have here? On-premises, we have our data center. All these DevOps people, what they're doing is, all these Mahesh people, operations guy, they are setting up all the servers here, and Dinesh, developers also developing the application in my data center or not. So all these DevOps people, what they are doing is, they are connecting to my on-premises and they are doing the deployments. Yes or no? They are doing the deployments. Now, In future, do we have a on-premises anymore? In future, do we have any on-premises anymore? No. All these on-premises are moving to where? Cloud. Which cloud? AWS cloud. Which cloud, Nana, here? AWS cloud. Now, instead of doing this DevOps in on-premises, the same job, they are doing it on AWS. And that's the reason they call it as AWS DevOps engineers. You all got an idea? Whom we call it as AWS DevOps engineers? Because instead of you doing in your on-premises, now you're doing all the DevOps work in AWS, and people we call it as you AWS DevOps engineer. Whom you call it as only DevOps engineer? Those are working on-premises native tools. Like he doesn't know EC2, he doesn't know S3, he doesn't know AWS, he doesn't know anything. He knows only Jenkins, Bunkins. He know only Jenkins, Maven, all these tools. He is setting up on the physical servers or virtual machines in on-premises. Now, do we have any on-premises anymore, Nana? For that reason, so on-premises will be there, but our customers are using on-premises infrastructure. No, they are not using the on-premises infrastructure. Why? Because they need to maintain, manage. They need to do everything by themselves. Is it easy to handle a data center? Remember AWS first topic. For that reason, entire infrastructure is managed by whom? AWS. AWS will be managing the infrastructure, and we as a DevOps people, we will be launching EC2 instance, so-called virtual machine in AWS, and then we will be deploying our tools inside the AWS. And whatever the infrastructure that deployments that you are doing in AWS through DevOps, we call it as AWS DevOps engineer. Okay, so now, sir, there are few. Dinesh is asking, sir, DevOps with AWS engineer or AWS DevOps engineer? Guys, names are same. If you are calling as AWS DevOps, AWS engineer is also same. AWS DevOps engineer, anything is same. Designations are subjective. That meaning every company have their own designations. Don't stick with the designation at all. Okay, Jida? Online, got it, Nana? Is it clear till here, everyone? CC, please. And those who have not turned out yesterday into the class, those who have not attended my yesterday's class, you all should say thank you to my existing people, because yesterday I didn't cover any topic, because yesterday I was just talking about the basics. Yesterday there is no preparation. I just directly came and then start telling about some topic, right? So new people, you should say thank you to my old peoples here, right? So, so they waited for you yesterday. Yeah, good. Fantastic. Okay, Nana. So now you know what is this DevOps here, and you want to know what DevOps engineer do? Do you want to know what exactly DevOps engineer do? Yes or no? So let's go here and learn what exactly the DevOps engineer will do today. So guys, okay, Tamim is asking here, we deploy app in EC2, then how we use DevOps tool in EC2. Let's go. Let's go slowly. So let me complete the topic and then I'll take all your questions. Okay. Listen carefully. I will be giving that entire DevOps picture, including tools, in this paint today. Okay. Let's see the magic. Those who don't know anything about DevOps and AWS also, they can understand this class. Please listen carefully. Okay, Nana. So here, what is the application that we are developing? BoomPay. Who will develop the application? Excellent. Online, put in the chat. Who will develop the application? Developer. Who will develop the application? Developer. Question is, does only one developer will develop or multiple developers? Multiple developers. So I call it as multiple developers. So one. How many developers will take, for example? Let's take 3 developers. Why only 3? No space. I don't have space here. So I call it as Dev 1, Dev 2, Dev 3. Okay. as you already told that entire development will be not done by only one single developer and the work will be distributed. Yes or no? Only one person will do single man army? No. So multiple developers will be there. Then a project meaning here group of modules. Yes or no? Now let's say BoomPay. You tell me in PhonePe what are the things that we have? Tell me first. Payments. I call it as B payments. What payments? B meaning Boom payments. Next, bills. B bills. B recharge. I think this Ambani will come and talk to me now. B tickets. Okay. B insurance, etc., etc. Okay. So these are all. Now tell me, Chiti, here. All these things will be developed only one developer or multiple developers? So can I call payments is one module and bills are another module? So can I call module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4 like this? Yes. So assume that here developer is developing which module? M1. M1 meaning what, Nana? Module 1. This one is M2. This one is M3. So these three are my developers here. Jaya and you, Moiz, Imran. Okay. So I have my three developers here, Jaya, Moiz, and Imran. Okay. So they started developing where do they develop? In their laptops only? Agree, everyone? Let's take layman language only. Let's not, guys, you think like a narv, what I'm teaching, you just think that. Don't overthink and think about something else. No, whatever I'm just telling, just listen carefully enough. All the topics will come automatically. So now we have developer 1, he develops or she develops the module in her or his laptop. Will she or will that developer 1 will develop in 1 day, 2 days, or many days? It will take how much time? Many days, right? Okay. So developer 1 has developer for 1 month, developer 2 another month, developer 3. So total assume 3 months. How many months? 3 months development happened. And every code is stored where? In the laptop. Assume that they are storing in the laptop. Jaya, she has developed for 1 month and thinking that I need to show this code to my Riya sir, right? I need to show this code in the Riya sir, and then he will set up in the project. So she has coded 1 month. So when she's coming to office on the second month, first day, she came to me, sir, I'm very happy that I have completed this module 1. Okay, ma, let's please show. And when she opened her laptop, dang, laptop crashed. Laptop, what is your feeling? Tell me, what is your feeling? What is your feeling? దెబ్బలు పడతాయిరా నాకే ఎందుకు ఇలా జరుగుతుంది, రైట్? ఎస్, you understand, right? So yeah, last day in the company. So the thing is, wet clock on the face. Okay, why me? Yes or no? See, you try to taste that scenario. You need to taste the scenario. Then only you'll understand the power of DevOps. Taste that scenario. So when you are not Jaya, you are the one who is developer here, who developed for 1 month, and whenever you want to show, and whenever you open the laptop crash, all your code is gone. 1 month development time wasted. Jaya efforts also wasted. And then what she will tell to me? She will say simply, sorry sir, please give me one more month time. My customer will wait. My customer will wait. Right? So now here, dev 2, right? Developer 2 also, same thing. Developer 3 assumed also. Now the question here is, sir, please fire me, self-suicide, fire me. Right? So here, developers, you tell me, Nana, is it recommended to store the code in your laptops? Is it recommended or it is recommended to store the code in your laptops? Answer is no. What you do then? You need to store these in another place. Which place? Another place. Another place meaning except your laptop. Arey bhai, I don't want in my laptop, except in my laptop, I want to store it some other place. Which place is the question? In local, remote? See, local, remote? Local meaning your laptop is local. So remote meaning somewhere another server. Somewhere another server. Now question here is, so now this developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, they want to store all the codes remotely in one place. Yes or no? Remotely in one place. So what they have asked is, they will ask the operations guy, Mahesh. They have asked the operation guy, Mahesh, please set up one remote server so that we will store everything into that server. So what they do is, Mahesh has set up one server. Mahesh has set up one server, and then all the code they are storing here. And these three people are happy now? Everyone say happy or not? These three people happy. Who is maintaining this server, remote server? Mahesh. On very one fine day, Mahesh came to office. Mahesh came to office and then got to know that that remote server is crashed. Now developer problem or Mahesh problem? Developers are relaxed now. But here, who is the most affected person? Manager, myself. Because if something is happening in the team here also, I cannot afford, right? So for that reason here, is it good to put it into one server? Okay, just in case if this server goes down, what I need to have? I need to have a backups. What I need to have, Nana? Here we call it as versions. Here what we call? Versions. What we call here? Say that everyone. Online, put it in the chat, Nana. Instead of calling backups, what we call here? Versions. So Mahesh need to manage the versions or not? So what he need to do every day, whenever developer 1 has put the code into the remote server, listen carefully, and Mahesh need to take as a backup and keep it every day. But is it developer 1 today, he will store the code here today in 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Will Mahesh will be available every day, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours and take the backup? Is it possible for him to manually take the versions? Is it possible for Mahesh to take the manually backups every day? How does Mahesh knows when developer will put the code? For that reason, we need to have one tool or not? That tool is called Git. What is that here? Say that, Git. So Git is a version control system. What is that? Version control system. Git is a tool which is a version control system where what he'll do, Nana, here? He will install what here? Git here. What he'll install? Git here. And in Git, what they need to create is they need to create a repository. What they need to create, Nana? Repositories. Online, what they need to create? Repositories. So they will create the repositories here. And all these developers, they'll push, they will store the code in the repository or not? And this tell me, this Git and repository is managed by whom? Mahesh. Managed by whom? So he has installed the Git tool inside this server. This is server. Good. Mahesh no need to take the backups now. Mahesh no need to take the backups now, but he need to take care of the server or not? Just in case if server goes down, everything is gone or not? For that reason, is it good that Mahesh maintain this server? For that reason, what he's doing is, he's putting that, he's putting right, he's telling that I don't want to manage the Git in the server. I don't want to manage the Git into the server. I want someone to manage the Git. For that reason, we got GitHub. What we got? GitHub. GitHub is completely serverless. GitHub is completely serverless. It is cloud-based. What's that, Nana, here? Cloud-based. Now you tell me, will you use Gita, GitHub? Got a conclusion now? So Git is a tool, is a software, and you will be connecting to the GitHub through Git commands, and then you will be using the GitHub. You're getting it? Now tell me, should we use Gita, GitHub? GitHub. You understand the difference between Git? Will you manage the Git by yourself or use cloud-based Git? If someone asks in interview, which is the cloud-based repository that you have used? GitHub. Clear? Fantastic. So now here, so GitHub is a cloud-based repository that we are using to store what? To store what? Code. To store what here? Code. So can I call it as this is central repository? What is this called? Central repository. So here the central repository can be your Git, can be your GitHub, or can be your GitLab, can be your Bitbucket. There are so many tools are available in the market, but inside this, which one we are using here? GitHub. Which one you are using here and here? GitHub. So where are you storing your code? Inside the GitHub. Say that. Where are you storing your code? GitHub. Who will store the code? You are developers. And what this developer one will do is, they will code morning to evening. Java, Java, integer, ABC, blah, 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 if condition, all these things, they will code. At end of the day, what they do? Whatever the code they have, they will push. What is that word I'm using here? Push. Developer when you push what code? M1 code. Developer 2 will push M2 code. Developer 3 will push M3 code. So will they keep the code? Will they keep the code in their laptops? No. What they do? They will push the code to repository. Use the word. Please push the code to repository. We'll talk. Just give me some time, Dinesh. Okay. So what is the word I'm using here? Push. Here, push. Here, push. Developer when pushing the code. And what you need to do? Push the code and then rub your hands. Amma, done. Yes or no? The code is not in my laptop. My code is in repository. So what you need to? You need to commit or not? What you need to do? You need to commit. Yes or no? So what I need to do here, Nana, here? Commit. What I need to do? Commit. Yeah. So what I need to do here? Commit. So everyone need to commit the code and then push it. Commit is nothing but you're just telling I'm done with changes. Simple as that. Commit with one. Commit meaning what, Nana? I'm done with my changes. I'm done with my code. And finally, what you do? Push. Push the code where? Repository. Where is that repository? GitHub. Where is the repository here? GitHub. Now this GitHub, we call it as SCM. Say that. SCM. What is SCM meaning? Source code management. Say that here. Source code management. Now this class is like this today. Remember in AWS, I have given the overview of the services first. And how much that helped you? A lot, right? Similarly, by this end of this class, you will get the overview of all the tools. See, listen this. Okay, now, so what is this called? Source code management. Say that. So which is the source code management that you are using? GitHub. Which is source code management? GitHub. So will you use Git or GitHub? Will you manage the repository by yourself or will you use GitHub? GitHub. If you managing the Git repository by yourself, you need to take care of your server, everything you need to manage by yourself. Nowadays, is it good that we manage it? For that reason, everyone are moving to GitHub. So what is the difference with GitHub, GitLab and all these things we are using? But GitHub is purely where you can store all your code. right? You have also called GitHub Actions where we can do something, but GitLab is like you can store, you can store your code, and also DevOps related actions can also be done in the GitLab. The pure one small difference between these two is what, Nana? GitHub is to store your code, GitLab store and then doing what activities? DevOps, like you can create pipelines and all also directly in GitHub. No need to have Jenkins. So directly you can use GitLab and do, but let's not worry about that. Here our concept is which one? GitHub. Okay, so fine. So in this central repository, what are the code it is storing? M1, M2, M3 code we are storing inside the repository. But I have one question for you. Now I have hired developer 4. Who? Developer 4. Developer 4 I have hired. New team member. This guy. What is your name? Sad. This guy. And now I have introduced the team. Hey Sad, this is my developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. So please develop which module? Module 4. In order to develop module 4, he need the information about module 1, module 2, module 3 also or not? Now tell me here, this developer 4, developer 4 will go to developer 1 and say, hey, please, can you show me your code? Developer 2, please, can you give me your code? Oh, I don't give. Right? Understood? So is it good that to ask the code individually to the developers? Assume now we have only 3 developers. In real time, we have 30 developers. In my team, we have more than 40 people, developers. Is it good to go and ask a new developer code for each and every person? Where is the code stored? All code. Repository. So all these developers, what they push the code or not? And developer for what he need to? He need to pull the code. Push, pull. Push, pull. Git is all about pushing, pulling. Pushing, pulling. That's it. Major thing about the Git is what? Push, pull. Whenever you want, pull the code. And now developer for what he need to do, Nana? He need to pull the code. So here, what they need to do, he need to pull the code. So he can pull also, he can also clone. What is the word I'm using here? Clone. Clone is what, Nana? Replicate. Clone is nothing but replicate. You can use pull also, you can use clone also. Fine. Is it clear? Developer now pull the code. And whatever the code that you have in the central repository, everything got pulled by the developer 4 or not? Okay, now question for you. Now, how many developers are there? 4 developers. 4 developers has developed the code. And they have pushed. Now tell me, developer 4 has developed a new code. You tell me, without any knowledge, you tell me, yes or no. Can he directly push the code to my central repository? Normal. Don't think anything. Just think. Yes or no. Can he push directly to my central repository? Because M1, M2, M3 is a nice error-free code. Developer 4 is a fake guy, for example. And then instead of writing Java code, he has written Python code. Example, right? And then can he push the code directly to the central repository? If he push the code, M4 will come and everything will mix. And what will happen? Entire code will get gone or not? Everything will get corrupted or not? Yes or no? Is it good to push the code directly to the repository? In repository, so for that reason, what I need to do, we need to have the reviewing system in between or not? We need to have a approval system, review system or not? Okay. Now tell me, is it good directly to work on this repository? Yes or no? Is it good to directly work on this main repository? Instead of calling main repository, I call it as master. Say that. What is that here called? Master. Right? So here, what I do is, Nana, here we have a concept called, so here we have master repository. We have here master. And here we have day 1, right? And then dev2, dev3 people, okay? And then dev4. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we have these 4 developers. Is it good directly to work on the master? Yes or no? Is it good directly to work on the master? Yes or no? Answer is no. For that reason, I will not be allowing to directly work on this code. For that reason, I'll tell, hey Babu, take the code, you have a concept called branch. Say that. Branches. Say that. Branches. What branch is this? Master branch. What branch is this? Is it good to work on master branch? This is an interview question. Main code will be there in the master branch. Clean code will be there in the master branch. Can anyone directly work on the master branch? No. So what you need to do? Tell me in this case. Create your own branch. Create your own branch. So now here developer 1 create his own branch called, let's say, branch 1. And developer 2 will create his own branch 2. Like this, everyone create their own branch. And where they will work? They will work in their branch. Do we have, yeah. So do we have any effect in my master branch? Tell me. Is there any effect with our master branch? No. So what they do is they will get the code in the branch, and this developer will work on the which branch? Branch 1. And everyone will get the code in their own branch, and they will work on the branch. And they work on the branch. Okay. Okay. Now, so in this branch, they have written the code, they have updated the code, they worked. Now tell me, will they push the code directly here? Will they push the code directly? Instead of using push, I'm using word called merge. Already data is there here or not? Already code is there. Code is there. 1,000-line code is there. And they have written some other 50 lines. And what they're doing, they are use a word. Say that word. Online, put it in the chat. What is the word? Merge. Say that. Merge. Say that. Merge. So will this branch 1 can directly merge with the master branch? Is it good? No. For that reason, we have something called in between manager or TL, team leader will be there saying that, and you need to you need to ask for the approval. We call it as pull request. What we say? Pull request, PR request. What we say, Nana, here? PR request. I'll be teaching deeper on this Git when we go to the Git topics, but I want to make you worry about what exactly the Git does. Right? So the code review will be happening here. Yes or no? This developer 1 will create a PR request. What is the PR meaning here? Pull request. Say that. PR request. PR here meaning here pull request. So this developer will create a pull request and say, hey manager, I have done the changes for this code. Please review and approve. Please review and approve. And what the manager will do, Nana? Manager will review the code or not? Manager will review the code, and what he'll do? He will merge to master. If the team leader is Howla, code is gone. Yes or no? Team leader should be a team leader or not? He should know what is happening in the project or not? He should know the coding or not? Right? So if he is good, then only he can merge. By reviewing it, he will merge to the which branch? Master branch. Clear the branching concept? Understood, everyone? Online cities, understood? We'll go deeper into this with practicals in coming days, but at least in few minutes, I have explained you what is Git and then what is branching strategy. So branching strategy, simple thing is, yeah. So we'll be using some commands to merge the code. So Nana, you can merge from this branch to master branch. Can you merge from this to this branch? Possible. Possible, Anna. So developer 1, developer 2 codes are there. Both two codes are there. Can you merge your code and your code? Yes. Wherever you want to merge, you can merge it. What is the word that what is the command we're using here? Merge. Got this point? Is it? Hmm. He will create his own branch. Hmm. Yes. Central repository. So where is the central repository? GitHub. Where this master branch will be here in the repository. But as I don't have space, I'm explaining here. Got enough? Okay, fine. So which one you want me to repeat, Tamim? Just let me know. So I'm quickly repeating here. So any mechanism between branches and master link. So what is that mechanism between branches and master? So master is also a branch. Master is also a branch where the master meaning main branch. We can call it as main branch also. We can also call it as master branch where it has the latest code all the time. So whenever you're doing a new feature or whenever you're doing a new update or new code, so it is not good directly to work on the main branch. For that reason, what you do, you create your own branch. So whenever you create a own branch from master branch, so all the data, whatever is there in the master branch will come to your own branch. Let's say you have 1,000 lines code in your master branch. When you create a branch, what will happen? That 1,000 lines will come to your own branch and you do modification. And then what you do? Merge. But can you directly merge? Answer is no. What we need to create? PR. And that PR will be reviewed by team lead. And once he approved, then only it will merge to the master branch. You got the right? Both are same, Abhishek. What is the difference between main branch and master branch? Both are same. Names can be anything, Nana, but generally in real time we use a word called master because master, main meaning don't touch. Master meaning don't touch. Will you touch master? Who is your master? Touch no. That's it. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so master branch is remote repository. Yes, exactly. Master branch is, where is your master branch? In your GitHub. Where is your master branch? In your GitHub. Okay. Yes, correct, Dinesh. Okay, now let's move. Let's move. Okay, so is it clear here, Nana? Here? Nice. So now assume now in our master branch in in GitHub. So what we have the latest code. Where is our latest code in which branch? Master branch. Pure and latest code, error-free code or not? Okay. Now my developers has developed the code and they have pushed it. Everything is good. In master branch, I have clean code. What after getting the code in GitHub, what is the next phase in DevOps? In life cycle of DevOps, what is the next phase? Build. Fantastic, Jaya. What is the next one is? Build. Yes or no? So what we need to do, Nana, after this, what we need to do? We need to build. What we need to? We need to build. Okay. So for build, which is a tool that we are using for build purpose? I already injected in your brain or not? That is how you should tell. So which is a tool used for build purpose? Maven, without second thought, you should say. But there are so many tools also are there. Yes or no? And Gradle, MS Build. There are so many tools are there. But which one you are using here? Maven. But I'm not putting all the tools. Let's put exactly what's the tool that we are learning here. So this Maven will build the entire code. What, Nana? They will build the entire code. So if the build is success, that is good. If build fails, to whom we need to talk? Developer. Simple as that. We'll tell Babu, developer, build is failing, please check. If build is pass, then we'll go to the next stage or not. After building, what is the next stage? Testing. What is the next stage, Nana, here? Yes, Harish, compiling the code. Building is nothing but compiling the code, and also it will add all necessary dependencies. I told you, no, build meaning adding dependencies. Whatever the libraries is it required, it will automatically install, download, whichever is compatible to that code. Okay. So next one is here. What is a test? Can you tell me how do you do the code review or a code review test here? By fantastic. Next one is here Sonar Cube. So we'll be using here Sonar Cube, and then what we do, we will test the code. So whether any bugs are there, any security issues are there, any vulnerabilities are there. Mainly what is that? Vulnerabilities. So vulnerabilities are there. And also here I'll be using something called, for doctors we'll say Trevi. Say that. Trevi is also another tool. And then OWASP is also another tool where we'll be using for what purpose, Nana? Scanning purpose. What purpose? Scanning. Testing meaning we are not testing whether the functionality testing we are not doing. Who will do functionality testing? Testers will do. Whether the click is happening or not. Whenever someone open my BoomPay, so when I click on scan button is opening or not. It is getting scanned or not. All these are all called functional testing. Are we responsible for functional testing? What we do? We will just check in that do we have any vulnerabilities or not. We will scan it and we'll tell that any security threat is there, security issues there. Do we test it or which tool we test? Which tool will scan? Sonar Cube will, what it will do? It will scan. What will do, Nana? It will scan. What's the word? Say that. Scan. What is the word here? Scan. It will scan the code and it will tell you what is the problem. Clear? Okay. Now scanning is done. Everything is perfect. What's the next stage? Deploy. But before that, very good. What is that? Artifacts or not? So we will, the entire code is bundled and it got built. Once built, we'll get to all dependencies got added, all the libraries got added. And on top of it, basically this Sonar Cube will scan all the libraries. Not, see, developers, anyone, online people, developers, is it good to download any library just it is available? That is very dangerous because in that library, a lot of boochies will be there. So it is not good to just go ahead and then use the libraries whichever you want. So all these libraries will be scanned by the Sonar Cube and will let you know this is the problem. And you just need to give that report to developers. You are not the one who need to fix this. Remember this. Anna, please think. If you are a DevOps engineer, behave like a DevOps engineer. Don't go and unglify in a testing job. Don't go in. Okay, you understand? Okay. So because I see this in real time, many people will get bothered. So they will come and ask DevOps engineer, said, hey, DevOps engineer. So this DevOps engineer will see that security scanning is failing. What DevOps engineer will do, Macha? Tell me honestly. Does he know? He don't know about the libraries. He don't know about the code. He will just see the report and tell to the developer, hey, developer, please check there is something. My code is clean. Your Sonar Cube is failed, is bad. Then you will sing that song. Right? Right? So it's good. Okay, fine. Let's move on. What's the next stage here? Artifacts. Say that. So once my code is very clean, then we will have the artifacts. Tell me, which is the tool that we store our artifacts? Fantastic. Nexus. So artifacts meaning your zip files or exe files or var files. Generally, we deal with which one? Which file Nana here? Var file. Which files we generally we deal with here? Var file. Because we will deploy Java applications. So var ER files will be there. Nexus tool, not Nexus small. That is different. Okay, clear Nana? Okay, finally, what has happened here? So finally, we have a var file with everything clean and pure. Any mark is there inside? Any security issues? Any code issues? Any bugs? Clean, fair and lovely var file. No marks. I'm not supporting or doing promotions here. No, sir, are you using fair and lovely? No, I'm not using. So, right? So, yeah, fair and handsome. Good. Yes. Okay. Okay, fine, Anna. So, you understand war file? Now, our war file is clean and clear or not? So, question here quickly. Sir, who will make artifacts in this life cycle? We or developers? We. Developer will give the code. Which one? Once you, do you see this, Nana, here, Maven? This Maven will actually, the output of Maven is war file. This Maven will generate what, Nana, here? War file or exe file or zip file, whichever it is. So this war file will be scanned by the Sonar Cube. And this war file will be stored inside the Nexus. Chandan, okay, Chandan? Okay, fine. Okay, Nana. So my war file is readily available. Next, what is the next phase for me? Deploy. What's the next phase here? Deploy. Deployment. Okay. So which is the tool we use for deployment? Very good. Which one? Jenkins. You have so many other things also or not? We have Bamboo, Circle CI. Don't worry about all these things, but it is good all because in interviews they will ask for the alternatives. Remember, right? So it is good to have little bit. No need to go and use the tool, but at least you should have what the alternative of this tool. So can you tell me what is Jenkins alternative? Bamboo. Say that. Bamboo, Team City, Circle CI. All these things will be as a alternates of Jenkins. Hey, not bamboo. Huh? So, okay, fine. So, Jenkins. Is it clear, Nana, here? You're getting it? Online? Is this clear till here? CC? Slowly. Let's go slowly. Let's have fun. Okay, now, these deployments, Jenkins will do the deployment. The question is, where? AWS. Where? AWS. Are we using AWS or Azure or GCP? Let's talk about here what? AWS. So let's talk about AWS. In AWS, which is a service where you do the deployment? EC2. Which one here? EC2. So let me go ahead and then here assume that I have EC2. How many EC2s will be there? Multiple EC2s or not? So okay, minimum 2, no? I'll go with 2 here. Because I don't have that much space, no? So this is EC2. This is EC2. Nana, those who are new people, EC2 is nothing but it's a virtual machine. It's a virtual machine. Okay, so what who will be deploying here? What it will be deployed? Application will be deployed. Okay, so before that, here, what we need to have? We need to have Tomcat because war files, Java projects will be deployed on which tool? Which application server? Tomcat. On the Tomcat, what we have here? Application. And this Jenkins will go and deploy to the EC2 instances. Okay, here I don't need to touch the topic, but I'm just asking whether you know or not. So we have different types of environments, right? Can you tell me what are those environments that you know? Dev environment, test environment, pre-prod, prod, UAT. There's so many different. So here, you tell me, this Jenkins, whatever they're doing the deployment, will you directly deploy in production? No. Where you need to deploy? First, dev environment. Which environment? Dev. After that, test. After that, pre-prod or UAT, whichever it is. After that, prod. Because deployment also, if you directly deploy in your production environment, if that deployment fails, application is down or not? For that reason, not good directly to deploy on prod. But here we will be deploying directly. Same process for every environment or not? However you're doing, simply only is machines will change. This is a production environment. This is staging. This is, pre-prod, dev, test. Like this, you will be deploying it. Okay, fine. So, okay, is this clear till here? Now the thing is here you are deploying on where on a EC2. But previously in olden days, they are deploying on a physical server. Where? Say that. Physical server. They are deploying where Nana? On the physical. What is there in the bottom? Hardware. On top of it, OS. On top of it, application. This is physical machine. So in this physical, what is there in the bottom? Hardware. On top of it, OS. On top of it, application. So Jenkins will be deploying here on the physical machine. Are we using any physical machines anymore? No. So from physical machine, which one we are using here? Virtualization. Which one we are using, Nana? Virtualization. And if you take virtualization, you have a machine. Inside this machine, what you have in the bottom? Hardware. First bottom is hardware. On top of it, hypervisor. Very good. So can I call it as host machine? Host machine. So here you have a hardware. On top of it, what Nana here? Hypervisor. On top of it what? Virtual machine. And each virtual machine has its own hardware, own OS, and own hardware. On top of it, what? OS. On top of it, what? Nice, no? Nicely fitted. Like only one virtual machines or multiple virtual machines are? Obviously, multiple virtual machines. Okay. You know, right? I should be perfect in paint because I'm not bothered about you guys. No, I'm not bothered about you. I am bothered about your kids because your kids also should learn from my pains. Say yes. You're seeking, Ray? No seeking. Okay. Okay. Fine. So here. So do you see this here? Okay. So these are all called what? Virtual machines. Now these virtual machines in AWS, we call it as what? EC2. What Nana here? EC2. This can be your on-premises virtual machines also. This can be your EC2 instance also. This is in your AWS. So this deployment will be done on this EC2 instances. Okay, that is fine. That is till where that you know till now. Yes or no? In AWS, what did we learn? We have learned till EC2 or not? That meaning you are doing or deploying the applications inside the EC2 instance. EC2, that's a virtualization topic or not? What is virtualization, Anna? In one host machine, you can create virtual machine. In one physical machine, you are installing virtualization. On top of it, you are creating the virtual machines. Now we got another technology. Antaku minchi, adike mele. On top of it. You know what is that technology? Docker. What is that? Docker. Now, understood, right? You don't know anything before. Now you see how slowly you are crawling the steps, right? Simply here, what's the next here? What we have Nana here? Docker. Okay. Docker, where it will be, right? Yes, yes, Dinesh. If you take, Nana, definitely you should have a physical machine or it can be virtual machine or it can be EC2. Yes or no? If you want to install anything, you need to have a machine or not? Okay. What is there in the bottom? Hardware. Definitely hardware. On top of it, OS. On top of it, OS. Hardware. On top of it, what we have here? OS. Okay. On top of it, what are we installing? What is the software that we are installing? Docker. What is the software that we are installing here? Docker. We call it as Docker engine. Say that. Docker engine. So once you install this Docker engine, on top of it, what you can do is you can create something called containers. Remember? On top of it, what we can create Nana here? Containers. Can I create only 3 or multiple? multiple containers. So this Docker is already our EC2 instance is virtualized. Inside the virtualization, again, virtualization concept is called Docker. So the good thing is here, these containers, if you have EC2, yes, Tamim, this can be EC2. If you have EC2 instance that needs hardware, that needs operating system or not? That need operating system. And then you deploy. But whereas here in containers, no operating system. Directly you can put a application. Very light or not? Very light or not? EC2 meaning you have operating system, on top of it you need to put application. Oh, there's so much of thing, operating system meaning. But whereas Docker meaning you just create a container without a operating system. Directly in that container, what we have? Application. What we are here? Application. Yes, this is called, okay, I'll talk. So guys, here we call it as monolithic. What was that? If it is EC2 instance, we call it as here monolithic. When you're going to this concept, we call it as here microservices. Say that here, microservice. But I'll talk about this difference between monolithic microservice in coming Docker sections, not here. But when you are using this Docker concept, then which is the topic that we get here? Microservice. Say that. No. So to just give you one quick information. So quick information. Do you see? All these concepts are there, no? You tell me, is it good to have all these modules in one server? You tell me. Is it good to keep all these modules in one server? If that server goes down, my entire boom pay is gone or not? You have phone pay. In phone pay, you have payments and then insurances, train ticket, travel, credit score, everything is there. Do you think all these modules are hosted in one server? Every module is hosted as a service. What service? Microservice. Payment is one microservice. Credit insurance is one more microservice. Another one billing is another microservice. So just in case if one microservice goes down, only that microservice will go down. Rest everything will be working. That is the difference between monolithic. Monolithic meaning having all services in one application, one single code. But microservice meaning separate code. You're getting it? So here, using this Docker, we can go with what here? Microservices. And these containers are very lightweight or not? Very lightweight because it doesn't have any operating system. It's very lightweight. Okay, fine. Now, you have how many containers here? For example, 3 or 30 containers. And if you manage multiple containers, can you manage the multiple containers in one shot here? Yes, you can manage. Who said no? We have concept called Docker Swarm. Say that. Docker Swarm. So using this, we will learn later. Dinesh, concentrate on the overview first. All the definitions and all, what is Docker and all, etc. I'll teach in Docker concept, but here please try to understand. So what is this here concept called Nana here? Docker Swarm. Docker Swarm meaning is concept called here clusters. So you can manage multiple Dockers or one cluster contain multiple containers here. But Docker Swarm is not a super hit concept. People are not using it in real time. But I'll be teaching Docker Swarm also here. But the thing is here, the main problem what I know here in Docker is very big mistake, no? Very big mistake, no? Can you manage multiple? You cannot manage multiple clusters. You cannot manage multiple containers, right? And there is no auto scaling. To overcome this concept, Google came up with a new tool called Kubernetes. Who is the owner of Kubernetes? Google, right? Yeah. So that's why guys, that's why. So we are not using much. We are using it, but just a second. But you got it till here, guys? Everyone online? So one by one, how it is getting evaluated. Okay, see. Next, what we have, Nana, here? That's a problem. That's why. Well, I'll come to that point. Guys, I need few more minutes. Don't leave the class, online people, because this is very important. See here. I need to finish this. Okay, after that, on top of it, you have hardware, OS, everything. Same thing. So you have a hardware and all, but I'm not putting all those things. Here we have, which concept here we got here? Kubernetes. Say that. Kubernetes. So also called as K8s. Say that. Also called as K8s. In this K8s, mainly you can manage clusters. Say that here. Easily you can manage cluster. But it is, Nana, Docker, it is very easy to install, very easy to set up. Whereas Kubernetes is little bit hard. Not hard. With me, there is nothing called hard concept. Everything is easy. But compared to Docker, this Kubernetes setting up is little bit difficult, but you have automation tool, automation scripts. But here, we have a concept called, in Kubernetes, we have a concept called pods. Say that. Pod. Say that. Pod. So here, this is a pod. You can create pods. What do the pod contains? Containers. What the pod container? So you can easily manage pods, and then super auto scaling you have here. Super auto scaling. Easily you can manage the clusters. Easily you can manage your applications. Easily you can manage the deployments. Easily you can do everything, right? So what is this here? Kubernetes. Now tell me, guys, this Jenkins will do the deployment where? Inside the physical machine. Jenkins will do the deployment in physical machines. Jenkins can also do the deployment in EC2, and Jenkins can also do the deployment in Docker. Jenkins can also do the deployment in Kubernetes. So here, finally, application can be where? Deployed in where? Physical machine, EC2. I mean, okay, I'll write Dockers and Kubernetes. Got it? And all this thing. Okay, see here now. See, Chite. Very important. Online and a few more minutes. Don't leave the class, okay? So now what happens is, Tamim, pod and containers both are same. Pod contains container. One more extra layer will come in Kubernetes called pod. Inside the pod, what do you have? Containers. Okay, see. Don't worry about the deeper topic. When we go, we learn there. Okay. Now, see here. This developer has pushed the code and committed the code. Whenever code got committed, automatically what will happen? Build. Automatically test. Automatically artifact. Automatically deployment will be happening. Yes or no? So each and every tool need to get integrated or not? And if you are integrating each tool, that is called continuous integration. What we call here? Continuous integration. And if you are continuously deploying onto the machines, right? That is called continuous deployment. And what is this called? CI/CD. CI/CD pipeline. CI/CD pipeline. Okay, I just want to introduce one more important two things. Okay, now you have your application on EC2 or in Docker or in Kubernetes. Let's say you want to modify some files or you want to install some softwares in your remote machines. That machine can be a pod also, that container also, that can be EC2 also. For that, we have a tool. What is a tool? What is that configuration management tool? What is that? Ansible. Say that. Ansible. In Ansible, we write something called playbooks. Say that. Say that Nana here. Playbook. Say that. So using this Ansible, what we do is any kind of configuration changes can be done on the EC2 instances, or it can be done on your Dockers, or it can be done anywhere basically. Yes or no? Okay, fine. And if you want to guys, if you want to deploy, guys, if you want to create your entire infrastructure automatically, which is the tool that we use? Which is the tool that we use, everyone? Terraform. We call it as infrastructure as a code. So which is the tool that we are using here? Terraform. Which is the code on here? Terraform. We call it as infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure as a code. So using this, your entire infrastructure can be automated. You can launch EC2 instances. You can set up the entire Kubernetes using Terraform. You can set up your entire Dockers using Terraform. Okay. Is it clear getting this, guys? Okay. So now, if you want to monitor all these things, what we need to have? We need to have the monitoring tools. What we need to have here? Monitoring tools. Can you tell me what is the monitoring tools that we use? So Grafana, right? And so Prometheus, we will use this. And we have so many tools like what? Splunk is there, Datadog is there, right? And we can do a lot of things using this. So if you want to monitor, we use here monitoring tools. Now, guys, see here quickly. This Kubernetes you need to install on EC2 instance or not? Everyone. This Kubernetes you need to install on EC2 instance. Docker you need to install on EC2. Right? Everything is on EC2 instance or not? What happened if EC2 instance goes down? The entire Kubernetes is gone. Entire Kubernetes is gone. One Kubernetes cluster meaning it has many applications inside it. For that reason, our AWS came up with super extraordinary topic called EKS. Elastic Kubernetes Service, where it is completely serverless. You don't need to manage, create cluster. Directly go to EKS and create cluster. Cluster is managed by whom? AWS. You know to install Dockers. We have something called ECS. Say that. ECS, Elastic Container Service. And in Dockers, all the images are stored in Docker Hub. But here, all the images are stored in ECR, Elastic Container Registry. Images will be, Docker images will be stored in ECR. No need Terraform. We have here Cloud Formation. But Cloud Formation is only for AWS. No need Jenkins. We had code build. What is that? No need Jenkins. In AWS, if you want to deploy the applications, no need to install Jenkins. Jenkins will be installed on EC2 instance. But here we have something called what? Code build. Where do we create pipelines? In Jenkins only we will create pipelines. But here we have something called in AWS code pipeline. Say that. In AWS, manage the code pipeline. No need Nexus. We have S3. No need GitHub. We have code commit. Sorry, it's not code deploy. So code build. Code build is for building and deployment is for code deploy. So for each and everything, there is a alternate services in AWS. I'll be teaching that also. No one is saying thank you. You don't get this anywhere. 100%. It will fetch itself. Right? So you understand, guys? Now you all understood. Do you see this? Everything, guys, code pipeline meaning in Jenkins, see here, last. In Jenkins, what we create? We create a pipeline. Yes or no? We create a pipeline. Pipeline, you tell me, pipeline is the integration of which one? GitHub. Next, Maven. Next, Sonar. Next, Super. Nexus. Next, next, EC2 or Docker or Kubernetes. This is called pipeline. In Jenkins, we set up this. Whereas in AWS, we have something called code pipeline. Code pipeline. In code pipeline, again, we don't need GitHub. What we have? Code commit and code build. And then we have some for testing. There is a no for testing. That's fine. So and then we have here S3, and then we have code deploy, and then you can directly deploy to where? EC, yes or no, Dockers or EK, yes. This is AWS pipeline. Fantastic, no? Clear, Nana? So do you guys, everyone online, do you see everything, your entire DevOps in single pane? That in Kubernetes, that is a deployment thing. Clear? Do you see this anywhere? Everything in one shot. So for that reason, people are missing with the dots. Sir, we use many tools now how it is getting connected. So all these things we'll use CI, CD, that means continuous integrate all these tools and we deploy it. Clear, Nana? Super. Sorry, I took 13 minutes extra, but it's worth to take it, right? So any questions online, or I'll take the screenshot? Silently injected, huh? Very good. Well explained. Port trainer will be in Docker. Any questions? Yes. The DevOps engineer, what he do is, he will be handling this entire pipeline, integrating all these things, setting up all these things and managing it. Okay. Super, Nana. So tomorrow class will be there, of course. Tomorrow regular class. And then any questions online? How is the class? Ansible. If you want to remotely connect and do the changes of any files or installations. How is the class? Excellent. Super. Online? How is the class? No, what's you are my energy. Super. Excellent, Nana. So whatever there was, that was a defect yesterday, I covered today. So yesterday I didn't even like that class because that was the basics. I went through a little fast. Yeah. Okay. So guys, please complete all your, do you see this? Akhil is your admin. Please complete all your formalities. He will be reaching you as usual. If EC2 fails, then sir, EKS will store to another. No, EKS is completely managed by AWS, Tamim. So we will just connect it and all the data is stored in the AWS itself. We will just connect to the cluster using EC2. If EC2 fails, nothing will happen. But if you have cluster, Kubernetes cluster inside EC2, if EC2 is gone, everything is gone. For that reason, people are moving to EKS. Okay, so I already took 15 minutes extra. Thank you for spending extra time with me. So can you give the final CC for today, please? Yes, Dinesh. CC with smile. Sir, how to get AWS credits? My free trial is going to expire. So close that and create a new account, Abhishek. Super, Nana. So that is all for today. Let's connect tomorrow with the next powerful topic. Until then, take care. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Don't miss a class. Good night. Thank you for 15 minutes extra. Bye-bye.